In this video, we will look at reflections. Let f be some function. Then negative f of x will flip the graph of f about the x-axis. And f of negative x will flip the graph of f about the y-axis. Use the graph of y equals the square root of x to find the graph of the function g of x equals the square root of negative x. Let's start with y equals the square root of x. We'll get some points to plot there. 0, 1, 4. And then the square root of 0 is 0, square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. So plotting these points, we get the familiar square root graph. On the right, we'll look at g of x equals the square root of negative x. Notice where the negative sign is. The negative sign is on the inside of the function beside the x. That affects the graph horizontally. It also changes the x in a backwards or illogical way. It looks like we're multiplying by -1. We're actually going to divide the x values by -1, which in this case does the same thing as multiplying, but you always do the opposite of what it looks like. So 0 divided by -1 is 0. 1 divided by -1 is -1. 4 divided by -1 is -4. The y values stay the same. So we have 0, 0, -1, 1, and -4, 2. And we have a reflection across the y-axis. Up next, we want to determine the domain and range of G. Keep in mind G is this red graph. Domain, remember, are all the x values. So looking at the graph, we can see that x is going to go from -infinity to 0, including the 0. And the range are the y values. The y values start at 0 and continue on forever.